Hey, Ram fans, Mark from Rams Up here. I got my quick recap on this Rams 49ers game. A bunch more will be on the podcast in a few hours. Rams fall to the 49ers 30 to 23. And I have to tell you, I'm being completely honest here. This is the happiest I have ever felt after a Rams loss, period. This team, you got to be excited with some of the things they're doing and some of these players that are really starting to emerge. This young Rams team trades blows with probably the best team in the league for 2+ quarters. Bunch of little things went against them, and I'm not going to take anything away from the 49ers. They might have won this game regardless, but the Rams didn't help themselves, or Lady Luck didn't fall in their favor today. Again, that's just something that teams have to figure out. They have to make their own good fortune sometimes, and the Rams couldn't do it today. And the 49ers had a few breaks go their way that really helped them. Again, they may have won regardless. They are a very good football team. But, look at all these young guys that are stepping up. And last week, we saw the Rams play a Seattle team really tough and then blow them out in the second half. And you come back this week and you're just wondering, is this team really that competitive? Was that just a one-game anomaly? Or the Seattle perhaps isn't as good as we thought? And are the Rams just going to get trampled by the 49ers? And they were not trampled, I'll tell you. Anybody that is going to sit here and tell you, if they watch this game and tell you that the Rams are a bad football team at this point, you need to check your bias at the door. This Ram team looks pretty competitive. I'm not going to tell you they're a playoff team at this point, but I think they're going to be relevant, and that's pretty obvious at this point. Let's go through some team stats. Rams ended up outgaining the 49ers 386 to 365 yards. The Rams ran 24 more plays, and they also had 14 third downs that they faced, as opposed to the 49ers just facing 9 first downs. So the 49ers are picking up more chunk yardage than the Rams, that's for sure. So the Rams, but the Rams offense played well against a defense that they've really struggled against in years past, especially in the running game. Kyren Williams didn't have a big day, but he had some key runs through the course of the day that helped this team stay in the game. Puka Nacua, what do you want to say about him? 15 catches for 147 yards. 7 catches for 77 yards. So the two young receivers, once again, stepping up. Nacua, as you probably heard on the broadcast, now holds the record for the number of receptions by a rookie in his first 2 games. Stafford had the 2 interceptions, but still a very good day for him, in my opinion. 307 yards passing. Remember, he's basically a coach out there. He's a 30-plus old man out there with a bunch of kids trying to teach them how to play football. Doesn't have skill guys with a lot of experience, aside from Tyler Higbee. Look at what they got here. And you can see the frustration on his face at times. The one interception wasn't even his fault. The other one, the second one, Van Jefferson, as the announcers pointed out, could have flattened out his route there, would have helped the Rams' cause. But overall, I think a decent day for Matthew Stafford. And the offensive line once again played good. Joseph Noteboom went down. Ingram struggled a little bit when he came in, but overall, good effort by the offensive line. Kept Matthew Stafford clean for the most part, had the 1 sack and a couple of hurries. And the running game had some holes there, which we haven't seen against the 49ers, especially in the red zone. How many times have we been down there in the red zone against the 49ers and you're just like, oh, geez, please no. Can we just get 1 touchdown against these guys? Ethan Evans kind of glossed over it in the game, had a 72-yard punt. And Byron Young, another young guy starting to shine. Between Nacua, Kyren Williams, Steve Avila, Byron Young, our punter, if you want to count him, we should. Really excited about this team and a lot of young players starting to emerge. If I had to point out a couple of things I'm concerned about, well, one is this whole Cam Akers situation. And, there's obviously something going on behind closed doors that we're unaware of, and we'll probably never know. Maybe he's just not fitting into this Rams culture. What was the statement they made that he's just not doing the things that's expected of him? Maybe he's just missing meetings. Maybe he's showing up late for his designated weightlifting time. Maybe it's just attitude. I don't know. But he seemed to be surprised he was inactive. But the Rams are going to be okay. They got to move on from this guy, though. They got Kyren Williams, Ronnie Rivers, Royce Freeman, and Zach Evans in the house. And it's just too much of a distraction. And I think maybe it'll be good for both parties if he moves on. And Van Jefferson, I have to tell you, Stafford and Puka are playing that two-man game like Stafford and Kupp did last year, and that obviously hurts everyone else's production. But you got to see Jefferson, do more than he's doing, getting open and securing the ball when he has his chances. And it's just not happening. If someone is going to lose snaps when Kupp comes back, it's not going to be Puka Nacua, and it's not going to be Tutu Atwell. So who's the odd man out? Yeah, you guessed it. And hey, maybe there's another player that the Rams will consider trading, but not if they're being competitive like this. Not if they're looking like a potential playoff team, right? I mean, look across this NFC, and you tell me who are the 7 playoff teams right now. Rams got to be in that conversation. They are a good football team. What does it all mean? San Francisco alone in first place, 2-0. Rams technically in second place with the win over the Seahawks at 1-1. Seahawks beat the Lions in overtime, and the Cardinals, I see they just lost. They lost a tough one after being ahead for much of the game. Giants came back and beat them, so they fall to 0-2 in that Caleb Williams pursuit. I guess they're good in that respect. But and the Rams go to Cincinnati now with a chance to go to 2-1 against a Bengals team that's 0-2, going to be very hungry. But Joe Burrow apparently hurt that calf again, strained that calf, so we'll have to see how serious that is. Feel great about this team. Good day to be a Ram fan despite this 9-game losing streak to the 49ers in the regular season. And I heard someone ask, hey, how do Ram fans feel about this losing streak to the 49ers? And I said, you know what? Not half as bad as 49er fans must feel about not winning a Super Bowl in, 25 plus years, whatever it is. But going on 30 years for the 49ers. So, hey, you guys can have this one. We'll see you later in the season. But this Ram team isn't worried about the 49ers. We're worried about winning 9 or 10 games and securing a playoff spot. How big would that be for such a young team in a bounce-back reset year to stay competitive like this and make things interesting for us Ram fans? We got to be jacked. We got to be happy. I am. Good day to be a Ram fan. We'll be back in a minute with some more game notes, and we'll talk about all those unfortunate plays that went against the Rams in this one. Back in a second.